Today on Ian vs. Daddybones, we're talking about Sun Man and Rulers of the Sun.
Oh boy, kids, we're gonna have fun today.
Yay! Hey! Alright!
How is everyone doing tonight?
What is up, my jerks? It is episode 4 of Ian vs. Daddybones. I am Ian Daddybones. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Special high five to all my jerks who have subscribed on the Patreon. If you have not subscribed to the Patreon, what the fuck are you waiting for, dude? Seriously, throw me a buck, Chuck. It only costs $1. You get bonus footage, and you get your name and a shout out in the credits just for throwing me $1. It really ain't that hard. If you want to give me more than $1, you can head over to the store frontier, and you can buy dope-ass t-shirts like only Ian's. Because right now, you're watching my show. It's only Ian's, and you can get your shirts and other dope shirts at Store Frontier. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Make sure you head over to the YouTube page, Ian vs. Daddybones. Click subscribe, smash that like button, smash that bell notification, so that way you know when all the new episodes drop, and you can follow me all across the social medias, except Twitter, because they're fucking jerks and they won't give me my account back, but TikTok did, so you can follow me, Ian vs. Daddybones, over on the TikTok for little dope-ass videos and whatever the hell I feel like putting up there. I'm not gonna like lip sync or do duets or whatever that other bullshit that my daughter does on TikTok. I'm doing Masters of the Universe shit on the TikTok, but today, we're going to be talking about Rulers of the Sun and how it affects Masters of the Universe. Now, in the 80s, you had your toy lines. And even in the 70s, you had your toy lines. Like Mattel in the 70s, you know, a predecessor line to Masters of the Universe was a line called Big Jim, which it was basically Mattel's answer to Hasbro's G.I. Joe figures when they were like the size of Barbies back in the day with their cloth outfits and accessories and whatnot. And Mattel had Big Jim, who was very similar. Big Jim had different outfits. He had different accessories. And I don't want to say like Barbie had careers, like Barbie could be a firefighter, Barbie could be an astronaut, Barbie could be the president. Big Jim was like karate dude. He was like outdoor adventurer. He was a fucking lumberjack. He was a secret agent. So Big Jim had all sorts of gimmicks and different accessories and personas and characters and, you know, and basically moving on to the 80s, you had other toy lines. You had G.I. Joe, you had Thundercats, you know, you had Transformers, you had Masks, you had the fucking Snorks, you know. But with Masters of the Universe, you had your basic characters when the toy line came out. You know, your early first couple of waves. You had your He-Man, you had your Skeletor, your Beastman, your Trapjaw, your Triclops, your Man-at-Arms, your Evil Lyn, your Teela. You know, you had your basic cast of core characters. But for you being an 80s kid, you could be sitting there with all your Masters of the Universe figures, your He-Man figures, all their homies, and, you know, and you're playing with your toys in your Castle Grayskull and shit, and then suddenly you just stop playing and you get that feeling you get like every time you watch the Jetsons or the Flintstones, and you're just like, where the fuck are all the black people? Like, what is going on here? And that's basically where this all starts. You have a woman, her name is Yila Eason. And she was on vacation with her family. And she and her husband had a son. And her son they got their son He-Man figures. So he had his He-Man figures, and they're on vacation, and he's playing with his toys. And, you know, Mom and Dad are noticing he's playing with the toy, but he took it upon himself to tell his mom that, you know, I like this character, you know, he's like muscular and big and he's strong and powerful, but he's white. I can't relate to him. I'm black, and there's nothing about this toy line that represents me. There's nothing about this toy line that represents us. And that got his mom thinking. So what she did was, she contacted some people she knew, and they came up with a toy company called Olmec Toys. And basically, Olmec Toys created Sunman. And Sunman was created, and basically it's kind of weird how you look at it, because you have bootlegs, you have knockoffs, and then you have original lines. And I've heard numerous versions of the story I'm telling. And I'm telling like both sides, from what I thought I knew to what really happened and how it all fits together. But like, basically, Sunman was like a cross between an original toy, but at the same time, by many, it was considered a bootleg and a knockoff, because it wasn't Masters of the Universe. It wasn't an official Mattel licensed product. It was an original character that was inspired and created because of everything that Masters of the Universe became. Whether it was a cartoon animated series, a toy line, or just a brand licensing phenomenon appearing on like underwear and pajamas and lunchboxes, stickers, and all sorts of other merchandise. But like, Sunman was basically considered an imitation, a bootleg, a knockoff, even though it was very much an original figure. It was sold in like mom and pop shops, you know what I mean? Like brick and mortars in your local hometown that over the course of a decade, they become like 3 different businesses regardless of what the business is. I mean, Sunman was basically sold at whatever retailers were willing to take and sell the product. And basically, the whole thing is, the reason it's not considered a ripoff of Masters of the Universe is because Mattel found out, I guess kind of the hard way, that just because He-Man has a muscular body, he's jacked, he's got these big ass arms, he's got these squat legs, Mattel can't trademark the muscular body, which is why it was okay and acceptable for other knockoff brands and even other legit brands in the 80s to come out with their own type of toy line that's in the same scale and using similar bodies. Like the quickest thing that pops into my head is the Remco AWA wrestling figures in the 80s. You had the LJN WWF wrestling superstars, you know, rubber figures, but you had the AWA figures that utilized the very similar body style and parts of Masters of the Universe. And even Remco had like a DC Comics Warlord brand. And that's where Mattel tried suing Remco, but then the judge determined, nah, you can't trademark and patent a muscular body, so sorry Mattel, this one, we're not ruling in your favor. So I guess with that experience, there was really nothing Mattel can do about Sunman other than the fact that they can make it clear to their, you know, competitor, don't mention our name, don't mention anything about Masters of the Universe whatsoever, because the original Sunman packaging made it crystal clear that these figures will more than fit right into your Masters of the Universe toy line. And basically, Sunman, he gets his powers from the sun. It increases his strength, it increases his powers, and I gotta personally say that when I was a kid, I heard rumors about Sunman, and I honestly didn't think he was real, because I never seen it. I've never seen one, like, physically. I've never seen a kid own a Sunman figure when I was younger, playing with these toys. And it wasn't until, like, the internet came out where I was able to see proof of the vintage figure mint on card, and there were differences with the packaging when these figures were available originally. But basically, she created this line, Hila Eason and Olmec Toys. They created this line, and you had Sunman. He was the main hero, and like I said, he gets his powers from the sun, kind of like, in a sense, kind of like Superman. And you know, his skin is impenetrable, and he has the ability to fly, and you know, I believe he's the line's called Sunman and the Rulers of the Sun, so he's the leader of the Rulers of the Sun. But the thing is, all of the characters in the line are based on different minorities. Like, you have Sunman, obviously, he's based on African Americans. You have other characters like Cyber Sumo, who's a telekinetic ninja. There's, on the table right here, and these are actually what I'm going to be unboxing today and opening up, we got Pig-Head, who is the Skeletor to Sunman. He's Sunman's arch rival and nemesis, and we also have one of Sunman's allies, the Jesus Christ, what the hell is he? I know what he is. He's a digital Latino. He's a digital Latino, and I don't know. I mean, looking real quick at the figure, I don't know. I'm getting weird vibes from him. He kind of looks like he looks like Dwayne Johnson fucked Ricky Martin, and then both of them fucked Razor Ramon, and somebody had the baby. That's all I can say about Digitino. But he basically has he's like a human computer, in a sense. Kind of like, you know how in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, how the two Doctor Stranges are having the musical battle where they're throwing musical notes at each other and shit? And there was this old I don't want to say old, it's old, considered old now, but I remember it when it was new. There was this TV show on NBC called Heroes, and there was a superpowered individual on that show. I'm looking for my bottle of water. There was a superpowered individual on that show, Heroes, who could basically they could read data. Like, they could look in the sky and they could see like emails, and they could see like, you know, all sorts of like technological shit like floating through the air, and they could, like, you know what I mean, like bank account information and all sorts of stuff, and just hack into whatever. And that's basically what Digitino is. He's like a living computer, and that's basically what he can do. He like attacks you with computer code and whatnot. And you know, overall the concept's pretty fresh of the line, and basically that's where we're going with this. But you got Digitino, you got Pig-Head, you got Sunman, you got Cyber Sumo, who I don't have yet. Because basically, this year, because right now we're in November of 2022, but this year, around January, rolling into February, Masters of the Universe, Mattel, Olmec Toys, made the official announcement that Sunman, as part of Masters of the Universe's 40th anniversary, was being included and adopted as officially as part of the Masters of the Universe branding. Sunman and the Rulers of the Sun is considered an official faction. He keeps falling over. He doesn't want to stand up. Stand up! He doesn't want to stand up, but basically he was included officially into the toy line, into the branding, going into February, and it's absolutely amazing because he's just as part of Masters of the Universe as the Snake Men, as the Evil Horde, as She-Ra and the Princess of Power. And I think it's good. I think it's great because you have a whole bunch of new characters. And when Sunman got announced, this figure was going to be released in the 8th wave of Masters of the Universe Origins. And it's funny because with everything I was collecting last year, with everything that I was collecting this time last year, rolling into the end of 2021, like, at this time last year, I was rounding out waves 6 and 7 of Masters of the Universe Origins. So by the end of last year, I was already caught up on the new shit that was just hitting store shelves in December and January of this year. So I was all caught up and current mostly with the line. So when they announced Sunman, and they said that, yeah, he's going to be a part of Wave 8 in Masters of the Universe Origins, here I am in February, like, okay, when the fuck is Wave 8 coming out? Like, you told us he's going to be a part of the line. Can we get a date, please? Some of us want a street date. We want to know when can we expect to see this beautiful figure on the shelves. And with Mattel's release calendar, because what I come to find out with Masters of the Universe, what I'm finding out with Masters of the Universe is they launched this toy line right before the pandemic started. So Wave 1 was already released. Wave 2 was about to get released. Then COVID happened, the pandemic happened, the world shut down for a little while. We were all dealing with our quarantines, our 30-day this, 30-day that, and it affected everything across the world regardless of what form of business you're involved in. And for those who were involved with Masters of the Universe, Mattel, and the releasing of these figures, the pandemic put a delay on quite a few things early in the line. Basically, and most notably, Wave 2 and 3 figures mostly did not get released in the United States. Because, come to find out, Mattel has a deal with this toy line where everything releases internationally first, then the United States and Canada get it. So Wave 2 and 3 got released elsewhere in the world, except in the United States. So nobody and their mother was like able to find Trapjaw, Triclops, Orko, Manny-Faces, She-Ra, Roboto, you know, and even some characters from Wave 4, like Stratos and Hordak, were even hard to find. And so it was taking Mattel a little while to play catch up with the distribution, and even to the point to where right now Mattel's actually releasing a second batch, a round 2 release of Wave 2 and 3 figures. So chances are right now, after you watch this episode, pay attention the next time you're at Target and you're in the toy aisle, because you may see these Masters of the Universe end cap kiosks, and those are specifically set up to let buyers know if you're looking for Wave 2 and 3 figures, they're right here. And that's one thing I never got to get with this line. I never got Trapjaw mint on card, the OG Wave 2 Trapjaw. I eventually did get him, but I got him loose in bag from a toy store out in Minnesota. I'm going to talk about when I get to the Trapjaw episode. But yeah, my Wave 2 and 3 figures I had to get loose in bag elsewhere, just because I wasn't under the impression, I had no knowledge at the time the figures never got released in the United States. I just thought everybody and their mother was like eating them up at the stores and like, why can't I find these anywhere? And so basically I was completely caught up with waves 1 through 7 by the end of February of this year. So I basically had March, April, and May to wait until Wave 8 came out. The Wave 8 figures wound up getting released at the end of like the second quarter this year. So it was the end of June when I got my Wave 8 figures. Sunman was included with the 8th wave. He came in the wave that also included Anti-Eternia He-Man, Clawful, and the Horde Trooper. So Sunman officially kicked off the Rulers of the Sun being included with Masters of the Universe. He got included in Wave 8. Pig-Head got included in the 9th wave of Masters of the Universe Origins that also included the 2000X He-Man, the 2000X Skeletor that I unboxed on episode 2 of Ian vs. Daddybones, and he also includes the Evil Horde member Mantenna. So those 4 figures make up the 8th wave, or no, the 9th wave. The 10th wave just came out this past fall, and Digitino is part of the wave 10 that includes King Randor, Whiplash, and Mini Comics Trapjaw. A variant figure of Trapjaw in his attire from his first Mini Comics debut appearance, which looked completely different than the original Trapjaw that came out in the 80s. So it's weird how I was able to get the Trapjaw variant mint on card before I got the Origins Wave 2 Trapjaw mint on card. So that's basically, wonderful story. Back in the day, this kid couldn't relate to this character. He couldn't relate to He-Man, and he told his mom about it, and his mom went and not only did something, but created a character that is just as legendary as He-Man. And it's great that to celebrate his 40th birthday anniversary, Sunman and Rulers of the Sun are officially part of this line. And also, there's a 3-pack available at Target right now that comes with Pig-Head, comes with Sunman, with an alternate head, and it also comes with the Cyber Sumo figure. On deck after Wave 10, with Masters of the Universe Origins, we got Wave 10. We got Wave 11, which is being dubbed Snake Men Wave 1, that includes Snake Armor He-Man, Ratlore, Cobra Khan, and the 5th Rulers of the Sun figure, Boltman, who's a Native American who basically has the power of Zeus because he can throw lightning bolts and shit, and it looks pretty impressive. Like I said, every figure in Rulers of the Sun is a different minority, which is giving every type of child an opportunity to have a figure that represents them instead of having to just play with something that's always white and nothing else. And I think that's one of the awesome moment. I think it's an awesome moment, when I find out backstories about stuff, when I choose to dive down rabbit holes and you learn certain things only exist because they weren't allowed to do this back then. You know what I mean? Everybody knows the X-Men, everybody knows about Professor X, everybody knows about Magneto, but there's plenty of interviews that Stan Lee has given over the years that these characters were originally intended to be black. He wasn't allowed to do so. And, I don't like to say, unfortunately, I'd like to say that I've came across this because I've seen it with my own 2 eyes, but unfortunately, not everybody's happy about Sunman's inclusion in Masters of the Universe. Like all fan bases, fan bases, groups, cliques. I don't care if it's friggin' Oculus VR headsets. I don't care if it's arcade 1-up. Okay, Dandy Manners was throwing gang signs or something. I thought there was camera issues, but I don't care if it's an arcade 1-up group. I don't care if it's a pro wrestling group like AEW or WWE related. Fan bases are toxic everywhere. And I've seen so many toxic comments and negative reactions to Sunman's inclusion in Masters of the Universe, basically saying Mattel's gone woke. Why do they have to change things, and why does this character have to be part of the toy line? And I'm looking at it why is it a big deal? Why is it such an issue? Why is it such an issue that Sunman is being recognized for existing? Mattel thinks it's great. You know what I mean? The two companies are working together because honestly, at one point, I was under the impression that Mattel shut the shit down. I was under the impression at one time Mattel found out about Sunman, hit Yila Eason with a cease and desist, and confiscated everything that had to do with Rulers of the Sun. That's a story that I once heard. However, it's been since fleshed out that, no, the Masters of the Universe brand died, and Sunman kind of went away. Olmec Toys focused on other toys within their brand. And, Yila Eason has been recognized. And she's won numerous awards over the course of her life and career because of the creation of Sunman. So for her, what a wonderful opportunity to be officially recognized for this character that you created by officially having him included, be adopted, and be welcomed and a part of this wonderful fucking toy line. Like, it's a beautiful backstory. And it's great to have Sunman be a part of Masters of the Universe, because right now I'm pointing at the Masters of the Universe Origins Wave 8 Sunman figure with 16 points of articulation that was not possible with the original figure, and now available on your store shelves. You should be able to find the brand new, first ever created, redesigned Sunman Masters of the Universe Masterverse figure. And the Masterverse figure, the Masterverse version of Sunman looks fucking amazing. The head sculpt, the way they redesigned the armor for the Masterverse. I mean, he's got the red wrist gauntlets right here, but on the Masterverse figure, he's wearing full gloves, and his wings look like full-blown feathery, golden wings. Absolutely amazing. I can't wait to get that Masterverse version of Sunman. But with that said, let's open these fuckers up. I had a lot of fun opening up Pig-Head and Digitino, the hybrid offspring of Razor Ramon, Ricky Martin, and The Rock. But overall, I do gotta say, these characters were a lot of fun opening up. Digitino, shockingly, had no restraints inside the packaging. Pig-Head, I had to snip and clip his plastic bindings in his elbows and around his feet, holding him inside the package. Digitino had nothing securing him whatsoever. And yeah, so real quick, let's just get the Pig-Head. Pig-Head, he's got his pink shield, he's got his blue mace, and yeah, he's got green skin, he's got his blue armor, boots and helmet, pink accents, he's got his yellow pants, and he's got his brown spiked armor, and honestly, I mean, he's a colorful clusterfucker. What the hell is that? And I do gotta say, he looks a lot better out of the packaging in your hand once you're actually holding him. I mean, he's laughable if you just see pictures of it online, especially for the first time. Like when I found out this was like, I knew Sunman existed. I heard about Sunman. But the rest of the cast of the characters were like new to me until the official announcement started coming out. So right now I officially have 3 of the 5 available Rulers of the Sun characters. There's a 3-pack available at Target that comes with Pig-Head, Sunman, and Cyber Sumo. And the thing that also too, the Sunman that comes in the 3-pack has an alternate head with a different hairstyle. Because if you look closely at this Sunman with his haircut, he's kind of like rocking the 80s Gary Coleman. And on the alternate Sunman head that comes in the 3-pack, he's got like the flat top, high fade 90s I'm a rapper haircut. And but I honestly gotta say, I think the alternate head for Sunman looks more badass. Like, he looks too... I mean, this is legendary, but this version of Sunman looks too nice. The alternate head looks like he's ready gonna whoop some ass. And the Masterverse Sunman head looks like he's gonna beat that ass. And I can't wait to get the Masterverse version of Sunman. I think he looks absolutely incredible. Pig-Head even has a Masterverse figure coming out, and that Pig-Head figure looks absolutely incredible. He's got like a translucent blue version of his spike ball on a chain. He comes with some other accessories, and he really looks fresh. I don't know if there's going to be other Digitino figures. I'm not going to say I hope not. I mean, overall, I don't know. I think Digitino's kind of lame. I mean, he's got a cool character gimmick, like the whole digital computer. I'll whoop your ass in code. I'll send code notes off my chest through my digital computer, which I believe is also powered by the sun, because one of his little accessory gimmicks is his armor glows in the dark. So turn off the lights and he glows. No, you don't need to turn off the lights. I saw you reaching for the switch. We're good, dude. I was trying to recite Vanilla Ice lyrics, and nah, it didn't work out. You killed it. Thank you. But no, he's got his glow in the dark armor. His weapon, I think, fucking sucks. Like, why does he have like the crab pincher claw on a stick? Like, this feels like the type of weapon that should have came with Clawful. Or like maybe Buzz-Off should have got like a painted version of this. Because it just, I don't know, like I said, all it is a fucking claw on a stick. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out what the hell Sunman's supposed to have. It looks like it's a fucking javelin sword. But overall, I gotta say, you know, I'm not hating by any means on Rulers of the Sun. I think Rulers of the Sun is absolutely amazing. You know, you're going to get a hell of a lot more information about Rulers of the Sun and it's a wonderful rabbit hole to dive down to if you want to get more information about Yila Eason, Olmec Toys, Sunman, Rulers of the Sun, and all the other wonderful products this company has produced over the years. And for me as a fan, I'm happy with their inclusion. I'm proud of their inclusion, and I look forward to adding these and the other figures that come out on the line on my shelf and display them proudly with my other figures, whether they're Snake Men, members of the Evil Horde, Masters of the Universe, or the Evil Warriors. But I think that's about going to do it for this episode of the show. You know what? Actually, though, before I end the show, it dawned on me. Because while I was doing the Patreon unboxing footage, I made note that the comic book, the mini comic that came with Pig-Head, was the same mini comic that came with He-Man, the 2000X He-Man and Skeletor that I opened on episode 2. But Digitino is part of Wave 10, so Digitino has a whole new comic, and the new comic basically explains how Digitino fits into Masters of the Universe, and looking through the pictures right now, it includes Whiplash and mini comics Trapjaw and King Randor, and yeah, I mean there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean there's only 6 pages in the mini comic, so you're only getting so much action, adventure, and information. But you know, it's still a nice throwback to the good old days of getting mini comics with your Masters of the Universe figures. And I know at some point they're probably going to put out a book that's a complete collection of all these Origins mini comics. But yeah, like I said, I think that's going to do it for today's episode. I'm not sure exactly what I got on deck for episode 5. I do know I'm going to be doing one of 2 topics. I'm just trying to determine what order I want to do the shows in, because there's one I want to do specifically the week of Thanksgiving, so we'll get there when we get there. But again, go to the YouTube page, Ian vs. Daddybones. Click subscribe, smash that like, hit the bell notification. Throw me some hearts over there and give me some love. I'm trying to build a brand. I need to get the subscribers up to 1,000 so I can start monetizing the channel again. I'm trying to get some legit advertisers to believe in Ian versus Daddybones. And I got some people in mind that I want to work with, and I'm trying to set some shit up. But one thing that's being made perfectly clear, you need to get your numbers up, and I'm seriously fucking trying right now. So head over, all you Ian Daddy Maniacs, head over to the YouTube channel, subscribe. If you want to throw me $1 and subscribe on the Patreon, I truly appreciate it. You get your name and a shout out in the credits. You get access to the bonus footage on the Patreon, and plus I'm getting tons of other ideas on how I could provide additional content to throw and make exclusive on the Patreon. I'm on the TikTok. You can subscribe over there, and you can follow all my bullshit. If you want to get a dope ass shirt like only Ian's, head over to the storefrontier.com/Ian versus Daddybum. And until next time, cheers, Pete.
Epic roast guy. Epic roast guy. Meme Lord for real. Epic roast guy.
Yup. Yeah. Yup. Yeah. Yup. Yeah.